Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Sashay Away with Barry. We are here talking about RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7, Episode 9, Breastworld.
Yes.
I'm not wearing my boobs this week because I wore them last week. And I was out way too late last night to put them on.
I have not seen them yet though, so
That's okay.
I saw them on your episode.
I will gladly take them out and show them to you. I should just pull them out and show them to people on here so they really look like, because they're really kind of funny.
Just put them on a hanger on the wall.
Exactly, hang them up behind me. I'm here with Phil. Welcome back, Phil.
Hi.
Phil has never done an episode by himself, so we're going to have a good time chatting. I'm wearing my fascinator for the royal wedding, which was yesterday, which I hope you all watched. It was kind of boring because it was really weird. The American commentators don't know who anyone British is, apparently, so they wouldn't tell you who was walking in unless it was Elton John or Oprah.
It's like one of the 4 or 5 pictures of people that they had in front of them.
Yeah. So it was just really boring, but I watched it all. It was a very interesting wedding. It was the first time they ever had a black Episcopalian preacher at a royal wedding. It was the first time they ever had a black choir at the wedding.
Was it the Episcopalian part or the black part that was first?
Probably both, because I think
Okay.
they're usually just Church of England through and through, and they still had that, but they did both sides of it this time. And the Episcopalian preacher did like a mini sermon of 15 minutes, and it was really too long. And they said usually the sermon part of it is 2 minutes long. So he just went on and on talking about love. It was a little RuPaulish.
He had his moment.
He had his moment. It was televised. He will be famous forever now.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. You set a precedent. I don't think it'll ever happen again because Queen Elizabeth did not seem amused by any of it. But that's that. Cheers to you, to a happy wedding, and cheers to you.
Cheers.
I'm also wearing my volleyball t-shirt. We were Team Cunt this season. Our season is officially over. That is why I'm a little sleepy today, because we had our end of season party last night. Phil didn't go because he wasn't feeling well.
Not feeling well.
But we were there, and I had a late night, and I drank a lot. But my team, we had a rough season.
I'm a team member.
Phil was on my team. Phil hates my t-shirts because he doesn't like the word cunt, which I actually love. And
I mean, there's a time and place for that word, but
I'm going to refrain from saying it
didn't want it on
1,000
my t-shirt.
times. But those of you who don't know, it does stand for charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
which I'm totally on board for.
Which he is all for. So we just won't use the C word. But we came in 7th out of 18.
You can use it when it's really, really funny. Okay?
All right. What was I? Oh, I went to the Bianca Del Rio movie screening, the premiere here in New York.
Was it everything you
Of
thought it would
Hurricane
be?
Bianca 2. She loves the word cunt. She says it about everyone. She calls herself it. It is amazing to me. The movie is better than the first one. And that is all I'll say.
Okay.
They had a bigger budget. The story is still stupid. But, you know, it's drag queens. You get a lot of little cameos. Lady Bunny pops up. Jiggly Caliente pops up.
Jiggly.
Miss Kasha Davis has a role, and she was actually there in the audience that night. Shangela's in it again. Willem is not in it.
I feel like the Shangela excitement has died down a bit. I still love her though.
No, people screamed when her name even came on the screen.
Really?
It was really, They are all about her. Everyone knows she should have won All Stars.
Yeah,
but
sure.
But she's still good. She's gonna be fine. Don't feel bad for her. Anyway, we came in 7th out of 8 teams for the season, but then we rallied in the tournament and got a bronze medal.
Now, don't read anything into this. but
Bronze medal, 3rd place.
I missed the tournament.
Phil
I don't think that had
Phil
anything to do
wasn't
with
there, but if he was there, we could have won gold.
Oh, of course.
But I have his medal because he wasn't there, so I'm giving him his medal.
I'm a champion.
We got a medal this season, everyone. I don't know how, but we did.
This is for me not showing up at the tournament and allowing my team to win bronze.
Bronze medal.
Bronze
yes,
medal.
we came in 3rd, which is really the worst place to be because then you have to ref the championship match and take them the net.
Yes.
For winning a bronze medal, that's what you get as a prize. But I want to shout out all my team players: Peter Myers, Mike Andolfi, Juan Davalos, David Irby, Noam Nomad, Pierce Vo, and of course Phil Jacobs. We had a lot of fun this season. I think we did. I like to play with these boys every week. It breaks my week up. We play on Wednesdays, so it breaks my week up, and I have a good time in the middle of the week. And I know that I only have 2 more days left until the weekend.
I feel the same exact way. I love it.
It really is a halfway point. We had a lot of fun. I take the summer off from playing volleyball, so I will not be playing volleyball this summer. How about you?
I may take a few opportunities here and
Okay.
there, but I don't have any official like league play.
Do you like to play on the beach?
Occasionally.
Okay.
I don't want to be like in a beach league or anything like
Yeah,
that.
it's too
But if I'm
exhausting
on the
for
beach
me.
and people are playing, then I'll enjoy playing.
Sure. I have a hard time standing up on solid ground, so you put me in the sand, and really I'm just covered in sand because I'm rolling around in the sand.
You can't wear your heels.
I cannot wear heels in sand, and that won't work for me. But if I somehow make it to Fire Island, I will play with the ladies out there, which I usually do go out to Fire Island once or twice. So we'll see. But other than that, I do have no plans to play, especially not in that gym when it's 9 million degrees. I coached a summer team one season, and
They play in a non-air conditioned gym.
non-air conditioned gym. It's at Preston. That's where I coached. They play other places as well. And literally, I stood on the sideline cheering on my team, giving them some direction, and I would walk out as if I had just played because I would be covered in sweat. It's so gross. It's like Bikram yoga. You just sweat. Sweat.
Yes.
Everyone is hot and messy, and then you just want to go home and die.
There's a 15% mortality rate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what I need. Maybe I would lose some weight. Just sweat it all out. And then you go drink and gain it right back.
Yeah, exactly.
I should say, we're drinking Moscow Mules today. Sorry, white girl rosé.
Yes.
I had vodka in my fridge, and I was lazy.
Yeah, if he just happened to have White Girl Rosé in his fridge, that's what you'd be drinking.
Yeah, send me some. Really, I just have to walk around the corner of the liquor store, but again, I was lazy today. It took all my energy to get out of bed. This week, it was a busy week for me. We had the volleyball tournament last Sunday. I went to see the Bianca Del Rio thing on Tuesday with Peter and Jen and Eric Holbright. We had a lovely time. I got dressed up. I wore heels in the monsoon that came on that day.
That was rough.
I wore a poncho, and so I got there and I was covered in sweat. So it was really pretty. But it was fun. Then on Thursday, I went to see Aquaria. She hosted a show at Vinyl, Vintage New York Lifestyle in the East Village.
I really want to see Aquaria.
I went because I wanted to see if she could host a show by herself.
And?
I was surprised. She did really good.
We'll talk about Aquaria, I'm sure.
We are going to talk about Aquaria a lot.
I'm just keeping surprised and surprised and surprised by Aquaria.
Yeah, she's won my heart.
Yeah.
She gave me a hug because I wore my Aquaria t-shirt, and I was the only person there that had her merch on, and she could not believe it. But she was fun.
Wait, she couldn't believe that you were, or that nobody else was?
That someone bought her merch. I think she was more surprised. Probably not now that DragCon had happened in LA, because I'm sure a ton of people bought her merchandise there, but I don't think she expected any New Yorkers to be wearing it. But I was. And so she gave me a hug. And I tipped her because I tip all my drag queens. And she only performed one number, but she talked during all the commercials. And she would even be on the mic during the show, so you'd hear something and she'd be like, that's not what really happened. And so it was really fun. I enjoyed myself. She was funny. She had a moment where she got emotional, which was really good.
Was she scripted, you think, or unscripted?
I don't
or
think
some
so.
Combination.
I don't know. I don't think she was, because there were points where she struggled to form sentences, which she does on the show. You see that.
That's my one thing that in my mind she hasn't quite overcome yet.
No, and I think it's because she's young. She hasn't had those hosting gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she'll go and be a performer at a show but not host it, so I think she'll grow into that. And this was a big test for her, I think, and she did well. This was the second one she did there. I don't know how the first one went because I didn't go, but I can only assume that it was better this time. Maybe. It's a very small space. It's a really cute bar. If you want to go to Vinyl, next week they are going to have Miss Monique Hart hosting.
Ooh, the heart of season 10?
The heart of season 10. I will not be going because I don't really like her. She annoys me, and that much of her talking would probably really just make me crazy. But I think she's a great drag queen.
I think it would be good therapy for you.
No, because you have to stand the whole time. So I was literally standing for 4 hours in this tiny bar that was overcrowded, and I bought a VIP, which really only meant I got a meet and greet, but I didn't do the meet and greet because I wanted to have a good spot at the stage, and the meet and greet was in another room. And so I was like, I'm just gonna stand here in my spot. I was probably 10 feet away from the stage, and I didn't move the whole. I had one drink, and it was disgusting.
What was it?
How can you mess up rosé?
Oh.
It was so bad. I almost couldn't finish the glass. It was so bad. And it was overpriced. $15 for a house rosé.
That was terrible.
Was bad. Not good.
Yeah.
But it's a small, cramped space. I had my VIP wristband, and all of these, it was a very young crowd. It was a very straight crowd.
Interesting.
It was a lot of hipsters from the East Village.
I suddenly feel like I've lost the thread of the story. Wait, where were you again?
I was at a drag race viewing party at Vinyl in the East Village.
Okay.
13th and 3rd.
I'm back with you.
Yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, so they were
Straight crowd.
They were young, and young people sometimes have a little bit of entitlement to them. And a lot of these people did, and so they would try to push past me to get closer to the stage, and say, I'm VIP. And I would hold up my wristband and be like, yeah, me too.
And you're like, and by the way, it doesn't get you closer
And
to the
guess
stage.
what? There's nowhere for you to go at the front of the stage because it's full. But they were determined to push their way up there, so instead they had a roped off area that was bottle service for like 2 tables. Instead, they just knocked the ropes down and stood in the bottle service area.
They got away with that?
And no one stopped them.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, good for you.
I've learned actually that, not for myself, but from a particular person that I won't mention, that sometimes having a sense of entitlement actually like leads you to get things that you wouldn't get otherwise.
It does. It does. Be empowered.
Yeah.
Me, I'm a tall person, so being a little further back doesn't bother me because I can, if I want to take a video, I just raise my hand above everyone else. And my sight line is usually above everyone else. So it's not a problem for me. I don't need to be right by the stage either. It's a little too close unless you want to see their vaginas. And I don't. And then Aquaria actually performed some out in the audience, so the people that were close to the stage couldn't see her anyway. Whatever. Let's talk about this show now that I've talked about everything else. But the show, and we are 12 minutes in.
I like that we get the Barry's life recap.
That's my whole life. What else you want to know that's going on with me? I don't know. That's all I have right now. I saw the Deadpool 2 movie. It's fun. Go see it. It's raunchy and funny. I love every minute of it.
What was better, the Bianca movie or Deadpool 2?
Deadpool. Sorry, Bianca. There's lots of CGI special effects, which are very fun. Lots of explosions, lots of fight scenes. It's just a cheesy, fun summer movie. Go see it. Let's talk about this show! So after Vixen's eliminations, where we start, she misspelled the word triumph.
Yes. Was it supposed to be Trump or
I
Triumph?
don't know. Yeah, I couldn't figure out. I thought maybe Trump. And she put an I in there by mistake.
I feel like the exact opposite. Like,
okay.
You can't accidentally put an I in Trump, but you could forget the H in Triumph.
Right. Yeah, maybe she thinks it's pronounced triumph, not triumph.
Yeah.
But I think either way worked. If you read it, it was evil triumphs over good.
It worked in the sense that it didn't
like
really
that.
Make sense.
Yeah,
way.
the whole thing didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was cryptic.
And Monet called her out for it.
Everyone thinks it's a slam towards Eureka, and maybe it is. There's some Eureka tea out there that's not so good either. From DragCon, she apparently was not a nice lady.
Oh, interesting.
That's coming from Bianca Del Rio, Aisha O'Hara, and her fans. So it's not me saying it. I wasn't there. So I can only go by rumors, and that's all I know. I'm not talking about it on here. Asia was excited to lip sync because it recharged her. She's ready to fight again. Not fight like Vixen, but to should do her thing.
Yeah.
What do you think of Asia?
The interesting thing about Asia to me is that I kind of like her more now that the Vixen's gone.
Me too. I mean, I've never not liked her because she's been entertaining to me.
I feel like the Vixen kind of overshadowed her and kind of sucked her into her orbit.
She did. The
Asia
Vixen
didn't really get to be Asia completely.
Right.
And
Asia had her moment with Vixen that was lovely.
Yeah.
The week before. And that I think we all needed to see that side of her.
So by the end of today's episode, this week, when I was thinking about who I thought the top 3 would be, like she was clearly in my top 3.
Me too.
Yeah.
We'll do our predictions at the end because
Okay.
mine keep changing. Not really, but I don't want to give spoilers away because I'm trying to avoid them. But I heard something today that really upset me, and I couldn't turn my podcast off quick enough.
You wanted to unhear?
I did. I wanted to hit, and then the people that do this podcast, they try not to do spoilers, and it slips out without them realizing it.
I think this happens on your podcast occasionally.
Probably.
Yeah.
And so I heard a rumor about a certain person, and it made me sad. But that's sad. So Asia's back. Cameron still has sitting there with a fucking resting bitch face, even though she just won a challenge.
I'm pretty sure Cameron's a robot. Is that possible? It's
Yeah.
Cameron bot?
Yeah, she didn't get to play a robot in the episode, and maybe
Which
she
was
should
the
have.
oddest thing to
Maybe
me.
she should have, because she is dead inside. There is no joy. There is no sadness. It's just dead.
Yeah. It
She
really
has-
came out this episode.
Yeah, literally no expression on her face. And then she's like, I want you all to know that I am excited. Do I look excited? Yes, I'm very, very excited.
Really, I promise you.
I won't even smile.
Inside.
That's how
I'm
excited I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, stupid.
I kind of feel bad for her though. Like somebody did that to her. Like somehow.
Yes, I think she talked about her past relationships with her boyfriends, and when she's in a relationship, she doesn't do drag because they make fun of her. But then later in the episode, she's like, I want a husband. Well, if you get a husband, guess what? You're not going to do drag anymore. Because
Also,
that's
maybe,
apparently
like-
what you do.
Yeah. Maybe in a different setting, she's more human. Like when she's just
I hope so.
friends. I don't know.
She did talk when she talked with Ru. She says she feels more alive when she's performing on stage. So I feel like I get that you're this character on stage, but on this show you have to be this character the whole time.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, when you're not in drag, you don't have to be her. You can be whoever you want when you're not in drag. Boring old nerdy Cameron, or whatever your real name is. Is that her
I
real
don't
name?
know.
I don't know. That might be her real name. And then when you put the persona on, you need to be that fully. Like when you're sitting there with your resting bitch face, saying you're excited that you won with no expression.
Well, wait. She was
That's
wearing,
not performing.
She was wearing a prosthetic, so there could have been an expression.
That's not the
of
one
that.
she won.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She
yeah.
won Cher last week. She's sitting there with that stupid glitter in her ugly flat wig. All right, I'm bashing Cameron, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I actually like Cameron. It's just a little weird, like her whole thing.
And the fact that she's there is weird.
She's hard to relate to.
Because I feel like she doesn't even want to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
I
like
don't
she
get
wants
it.
to just like quickly win and go home.
Right, she wants the show to be over. She wants to win, but she doesn't want to actually do anything to get to that point. Just showing up doesn't count.
Well, she did make top 6.
She's top 6.
Yeah.
And we find out from Eureka that Cameron wanted to win the Cher challenge, but didn't want anyone else to know.
That was a really funny moment.
It was so funny. Don't tell Eureka anything.
No, but
she has the biggest mouth on that show.
I had a whole different take on it, right? 'Cause
Okay.
in the end, Cameron didn't mind that. So Eureka kept Cameron's secret, right?
She did
And
until
then
it
revealed
happened.
at the end.
Right,
and then
but it seemed like she didn't know that Cameron wanted it to be a secret.
no, maybe not. But what was funny to me at the end was that Cameron's reaction made Eureka suddenly be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I said that."
Oh wait, what?
Right? And then Cameron was like, "No, I mean now it's fine."
It's
But-
fine now because I just won. So
Yeah,
that's.
It was just
And
like
guess what?
the
If
most
that's the
awkward-
only
such an
challenge,
awkward
if that's the
moment.
only challenge she wanted to win, then go home now.
Well, I
You're
don't think she said it's the
done.
only challenge she wanted to win.
Well, no, that's what she said. She's like, the one challenge she wanted to win was the Cher challenge because
Okay.
apparently she does Cher impersonations,
I
which
had no
I
idea.
had no idea. And from her rehearsal, you wouldn't think that.
I really want to like Cameron. It's just there's this huge wall. This
There's
huge
something
wall
I
around
don't
her.
get about her, yeah. It's
Yeah.
just something I don't get. And people love her, and more power to them. But it was also weird that that's the only challenge she said she wanted to win. Don't you want to win every challenge?
Yeah.
If you're on the show, you should. At least want to. You should know that you're not going to.
Just forgive her choice of words.
You
there.
know, she doesn't talk much, so maybe she just doesn't know any better.
I like that you wrote my name down in your notes.
Of course.
Oh. Don't forget.
Aquaria doesn't think that she was bottom 3, even though she was one of the last 3 people standing on the stage. She doesn't think they were done in order.
I didn't really think Aquaria deserved to be bottom 3 either.
I didn't either.
So I was kind of almost on the same wavelength as she was, even though I knew that it wasn't true.
Who else would you have put in the bottom 3? Who was it?
I'm trying to
Who was the
remember.
bottom 3? It was.
Oh,
Who went on? The
Vixen?
Vixen went. Oh, in Asia.
In Asia, yeah.
They both deserve bottom 2.
I'd say. So who else was there?
Cracker.
I mean, Cracker hasn't really done so much to really.
She hasn't, but her
confuse
share was
me.
fine.
Yeah. I guess it was.
I guess that was right.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been Cracker or Aquaria. I mean, it could have even been Monet, but Monet's
No, Monet was great. I did a
her
great share.
share was great. Her
Yeah.
outfit was I actually really liked her outfit. They didn't like the tape showing, which I didn't even see until they pointed it out.
Yeah. But yeah.
So fine. All right, Aquaria, you were bottom 3.
All right.
Asia thinks she's disconnected from reality. And she said that she wants to win everything and everyone should go home. What is wrong with that?
I think it's fine.
Isn't that the whole... And then Eureka's like, well, I don't want you all to go home. Yes, you do, bitch.
I think they're all saying the same thing, right?
Yeah.
They're just saying it
They're
differently.
just confused. They
Right.
forget where they're at. They're on a show.
There's like 3 tacks I think that the queens take sometimes.
It-
Sometimes they're like, listen, I want all you to go home. And then, okay. Sometimes they're like, I want you and
Well,
you
and
and
then,
you to go
yeah,
home.
we hear that later
right?
when
And sometimes
Aquaria,
they're like, yeah.
Aquaria lets them all pick their own parts, and they're like, well, I thought she wanted to win everything.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want from her? Do you want her to be a bitch, or do you want her to be nice?
Yeah.
The choice is yours. I love Aquaria, and I want her to do really well. And she is doing really well. The next day, they all think that the workroom is empty. And I think it was Eureka that said there's plenty of room for Aquaria's ego.
Oh, yeah.
Why she gotta do that? Eureka,
I
you
thought-
probably have the bigger ego.
Yeah. Aquaria handled it good-naturedly.
She did. She made a
That was-
joke.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Cracker that made a joke talking about her talent being like Michigan J. Frog.
Oh, that was
If
fun.
you don't know
That
who
was funny.
Michigan J. Frog is, you can stop right now and Google it.
Yeah.
And it was the funniest thing Cracker has ever said on the show.
Yeah.
Because it was really funny. And Michigan J. Frog is this frog that wears a top hat. I think he has a
Mhm.
top hat on
And
all the
cane.
time. And then when everyone's gone, he does a little dance with his top hat and cane. And then whenever someone comes in the room, he stops. It's just a frog. Ribbit. It's the perfect analogy for Aquaria.
You might have had
And
Dane's
her
hat
talent.
in like the 1980s.
Yeah. It would be really funny if Aquaria came out as Michigan J. Frog sometime.
That would be funny.
Just do a little song and dance with a top hat and cane.
I thought it was funny that Aquaria did not have any idea what the WB was.
No idea what WB was.
That was a moment of time.
Oh, Aquaria. She's so young. Stephen Colbert does the video. I thought it was funny.
It was funny. Why though?
He and RuPaul are friends.
Okay.
He interviewed her, I think, for the Emmys. Did you see that?
No.
It was a pre-recorded thing they did on the Emmys, and Rue actually dressed up as the Emmy.
Okay.
Like, gorgeous as the gold Emmy, full body paint and dress. And Stephen Colbert interviewed her about being the trophy and how the trophy would respond. And then Rue went on his show and taught him all the drag language. So taught him how to do the and tongue pop, which I can't do, so I'm not going to try.
Just
All
let me
those
try.
things. So I thought it was funny that he came on.
I like him. I thought
And
he did a
then
good job.
It was weird that he wasn't there, but
He did narrate
I think
the.
he did narrate that.
Breastworld.
I was glad that they actually tied that back in.
Yeah.
Not like that stupid Andy Cohen appearance that did nothing. He just walked in and picked a winner out of the hat.
Sat on the secret. Yeah.
He sat on a secret, and that was it. Our mini challenge is pants down, bottoms up.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a good time. We got a giant pit crew of 20 men's, and they are all wearing rounder bum underwear.
Yeah. So this mini challenge is a underwear commercial, correct? Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that underwear did not make their bums look very good.
No.
They all looked weird. It's
guess-
because they're padded.
Oh, is that what's going
Yeah.
on there? I thought it was that curved seam
It is,
that was
but
just
that's the
designed.
padding. The padding is
Ah.
sewn in, and so it probably looks great if you're wearing a pair of jeans.
Also, if your butt is the exact right shape, I think it was good.
Right, if they
not,
fit you really, really well.
not so good.
It did not fit a lot of those ladies very well. We did have the first trans model from the pit crew. His name is Leif. They did not. I'm surprised they didn't point it out.
Yeah.
But I guess that normalizes it more. They did. Like, we're not going to single you out. We're just going to be there. But there's a big article online if you want to look for it. It's really a good, interesting read. So good for them. First trans model. Asia called it Christmas, birthday, and a bar mitzvah, all rolled into one.
I thought Asia actually had the funniest moment of the whole thing, where she was just staring.
She picked a number and then she just stared at it. But she picked one of the actual pit crew guys first.
She was like,
and I was like,
wait.
girl, she's on there every week.
Wait, what are we doing
but
again?
Yeah, she was distracted.
In fact, I thought she had the only funny moment,
I
really.
might have been distracted too, honestly.
No other queen did anything funny.
No, that's what I wrote. Cameron was boring. Cracker had nothing. Rue said something funny to Monet. She's like, I think you're purposely mixing them up just so you can be here longer. Aquaria I thought was funny when she walked in and just called out 2 numbers.
Yeah.
Didn't wait for them to drop their pants. And then ended up to be right anyway.
And millennials don't follow instructions well.
No, they don't. They make their own rules. But Rue called her a bossy bottom, and that made me giggle.
Mm-hmm.
Eureka apparently has a terrible short-term memory because she missed one back-to-back that should have matched. And she blamed it on too many asses in her head. Whatever. And then we had a little underwear party where they all danced around.
Mm-hmm. Peanut butter.
Peanut butter, peanut butter. And then we get to see that same song.
And we get to see Rue
Later.
Like, gawking.
And Rue was living her best life. There might have been some drool coming off her mouth. But Aquaria wins. And I got some backstage information about this.
Really?
Yes, because I went to Aquaria's viewing party.
Okay.
She and Asia actually tied. And they did a coin toss to see who wins.
Okay.
And Aquaria won.
And then she acts surprised.
She didn't win a prize. She gets to sign rolls. There was no prize. She gets to sign rolls for the Maxi Challenge, which is Breastworld. Do you watch the Westworld?
I tried, and I failed.
How many episodes did you get through?
2, 3 maybe.
I give a show 3, and I had no idea what was going on.
I mean, it's such a heterosexual fantasy. Like,
It
I
is.
wasn't feeling it.
I didn't. Yeah, it's not for me. RuPaul loves the show. She talks about it on her
Really?
podcast all the time. It is not for me. I don't get it. And it's not that I don't get a lot of things, because I watch this Legion. Do you watch that?
No.
It makes no sense. I have no idea what's going on, but I love the show. I have no idea what's happening.
Each moment, fantastic.
There was actually a brilliant episode this season that had nothing to do with the story. And I was like, at the end, it's going to wrap it all up. No, nothing to do with it. It was just like this weird standalone. It was a great episode, but had nothing to do with the series at all. So I don't watch Westworld, so I know they're robots. Sex robots, essentially.
Yeah, like masquerading as entertainment robots. I
Right.
think.
Yeah. I don't
And then
get
there's
it.
some undercurrent of like artificial intelligence.
Right, and they're going to take over
Yeah.
because they somehow realize that they're being used and manipulated.
Yeah. So for anyone who watches the show, that's our take on
That's
the show
my
based
take.
on 2
Maybe,
episodes.
yeah. If you wanted to put like a synopsis in the comments about it, I will read it. It's
Yeah.
not going to make me watch it. But I'm happy to read it. If you want, I'll even read it aloud next week because maybe it'll help someone else. So Cracker is excited that we're going to do another acting challenge.
Yes, that it's scripted.
It's scripted. She doesn't do well with scripts. I don't know why she's excited.
I think she just was happy something was different.
Yeah, I don't know. They read the character breakdowns, and Aquaria let everyone pretty much pick who they wanted to be. Cracker is going to be Julie, because apparently she has zingers, and Cracker can land zingers. Okay. Were they in the show? Nothing she said was funny.
You know, I feel like there are people who are really good at doing that in the moment, and she must be one of those people.
Yeah. Rue had a really good comment during the judges' critiques. It was about Monet, I think, saying that these queens all come from nightlife, and it is very different than RuPaul's Drag Race, and that is a fact. If you look at Trixie Mattel, she was terrible on her season. She came in 7th twice.
Yeah. Somehow.
And
We'll
now
talk
she
about
won
that.
All Stars. somehow. Thanks, queens. So yeah, I feel like that is one of the smartest things RuPaul has ever said on camera. I hope people picked up on it because it is so true. But Asia wants to be a conservative lady, and she's going to be parasailing. And I'm going to say that I'm really stupid because I didn't get it until I wrote it down in my notes.
Oh.
See, that's how smart I am.
Would that be a good time to acknowledge that I didn't get it
Oh,
either?
good. I'm glad. Because when they
On my
showed the
second-
episode and she came out in the glasses and the hair, and she even said, "You betcha," I was like, "Oh my God, it's Sarah Palin," and it still didn't click.
Yep.
It didn't click at all.
Because parasailing it sounds like parasailing.
It sounds like a great drag name. I hope someone has parasailing as a drag name, and I hope you had it before they did it on the show. Otherwise, people are gonna think you stole it. But I think I just thought, I was like, oh my God, it's a great drag name. It's Sarah Palin with the consonants switched. Yeah, dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. And rewatching it, Rue even said it when she won, she said, I think she said you were hucking hilarious or something.
Oh,
so she switched in there, and I was like, oh, I didn't get it then either. I mean, I knew what she was saying, but it didn't make any sense to me. Yeah, it's Sarah Palin. Yeah, good job. We're all really, yeah. That is how I felt when I wrote it down. I was like, oh my God, that's genius. That's exactly how I felt. I'm dumb. So.
Just change that
Maybe
eye.
some of you else didn't get it out there, and I have enlightened you as well. Now go back and watch it and think it'll be really funny. Eureka wants to be Rosie the bingo bot. Great.
Because she's sassy.
She's sassy and brassy.
Loud.
Sure. Monet likes Viv, so she gets to do that. And Cameron takes Muffy because Monet took Viv, so I don't know if that meant that Cameron wanted Viv. There was still another role she could have taken, which was a robot.
Yeah, that would have been appropriate.
It would have been appropriate. I don't know if she would have been as funny, because Aquaria is left with dyslexia. Dyslexa, not dyslexia, dyslexa. And it is a take on Alexa. She turned on when I said it.
That's how I feel, because I'm just getting that right now.
That one I got. I didn't get it at that point. I was just like, oh, maybe she's gonna say things backwards, and that would be great for Aquaria because she talks backwards usually.
Muddled a little.
Yeah. But then when I watched when they did the rehearsal, I was like, oh, they're asking everything, so she's like, Alexa. If you have an Alexa, you know what that means. And if you don't know what that means, clearly you're not watching Drag Race because it is every commercial if you watch it online.
Okay. Can I go down a sidetrack for a second?
Absolutely.
So, Asia said something about each week I don't know if it was in one of the talking heads, that each week they're ranked.
She did say that, and that's the first time I ever heard that either.
Yeah?
I don't know if they're just ranking themselves.
Like, is that in her head?
It must be, because
Okay.
I don't know that anyone else feels that way.
I've never heard.
I've never heard that either.
And usually I feel like you know these behind the scenes.
No,
things, if
I've
they're true.
never heard that before. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I don't think they do. Maybe there's a secret society that is ranking them, but I wouldn't do it week to week.
Council of Elders.
Right? Every week is going to be different.
Yeah.
And then do you base it on how many times you were in that top part, or? Yeah.
It seemed to be only 100% based on the last episode.
Yeah, just the
way
last
she explained
episode,
it.
which is weird.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, Cameron was number 1, and then this week she was last.
Yep.
So how do
Usually
you
reverse.
average that out? Yeah, I don't get it. She said it, and maybe it's just she's keeping track for herself.
That may be her way of
Because
sort of
I've
seeing where she fits each week.
Right. The way Drag Race used to be is usually the person who wins the most challenges or is in the top the most is the winner. And so maybe she's trying to fashion it that way.
Like they mathematically.
It's
decided
mathematic,
who-
exactly.
Oh.
RuPaul does nothing with math, as we all know. And that last season, everything
That's how
changed
Trixie won.
with the end. Trixie did not win that way because she never won a challenge.
No, I meant that's because RuPaul's not good at math.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, RuPaul thought she won every challenge, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Cracker immediately realized she has the most lines, and now she's worried. When she just said she wanted a scripted show.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, Cracker. Asia's character doesn't show up until after page 7. And Aquaria literally said fuctified herself. That's not a word. But she fuctified herself with a small part. But what I'm going to say is if you have watched Drag Race at all over the past, I'm only going to go back 4 years to season 6, Darian Lake had the smallest part in her scripted show. She was literally a head on a table.
I remember that.
And she won the challenge.
Yeah.
She said, "Your mother darn socks in hell." That was her only line, and she won. So the size of your part does not matter.
I felt really similarly. I mean, Aquaria proved to me that you just have to make the most of the opportunity that you have. You just have to do a good job.
That's what, and she said, she's like, I hope all my lines are funny because I don't have many. Well, make them funny. Mm-hmm. And you did, girl, you did.
Absolutely.
So Rue's gonna do a little walk around. I'm appreciating that she's doing these.
Me too.
This season a lot more. Like this week, she talked to every girl, and I'm sure she talks to every girl every week. Not as in depth as they have been, but
fewer.
We just don't see them because of time.
Mm-hmm.
So what she says to Aquaria is, she asked how she picked the roles, and she wasn't strategic about it. She let everyone pick her own roles.
She was strategic about it in a different way.
She was, because
she was strategic about it in her relationships with
right,
other
she's
girls.
trying to make efforts to be more personable with the other girls. Like last week, she moved her station closer to them.
And you never know, there could be some twist at the end where the girls have some say in the winner. Like,
you never know.
Those things have happened, so I think it was somewhat strategic.
I don't know.
But not like immediately strategic.
Right. Yeah, I think she just didn't want people to blame her.
Yeah. Also, I think they're trying to get in her head by saying she's unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're genuinely sort of annoyed by her.
They're targeting her because they know
head.
she's strong, and so they need something to break her down.
Mm-hmm. And they did.
So that's what they did.
It was successful in that moment, even though it wasn't successful in the end.
Right.
She did well.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
She thinks that she needs to make herself more memorable, which I do not agree with because I remember everything she does. Because she's either really stupid and it makes me laugh, or she's genius and it makes me laugh. Rue tells her to bring that Aquaria flair into everything she does. I think she kind of does. So.
And Aquaria says, I need to make the most of each line that I have.
That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do. Monet, this was one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Because RuPaul says, you need some big hair to balance out that big, fat, juicy ass. Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it.
How many times can Monet get that comment
Monet,
and not listen?
You get the same note every week. I will say, though, she did wear big hair for the challenge. Because that what people online are like, why doesn't she listen? Why doesn't she listen? I was like, well, the hair that RuPaul told her to wear, she did wear for the challenge.
That's true.
She didn't wear it on the runway, but I also thought her runway was genius.
Oh, really?
Because it was
we'll talk about
so
that.
crazy. And that is how Monet is going to look in the home. That is how Boy Monet is going to look and how Drag Queen Monet is going to look. She says that she's going to slay this challenge. And she thinks she's doing well in the challenges, but not following through on the runway, which I think we all agree with.
Yeah, I think that was like a really good self-assessment.
But she also is on an upward trajectory, and I agree with that. She's been doing really well after those 2 times in the bottom. She's stepped it up. So, way to go, Monet. I hope you're around. Eureka! She picked the brassy and loud character, because guess what? That's who she is.
Clearly.
We know you, Eureka. She needs to make sure she stands out, and I don't know. She does that every week. She stands out. Sometimes for the right reasons, sometimes for the wrong reasons. And Rue says, you just need to know your energy and how to make it fit with the character. To me, that was her telling her, scale it back just a bit.
You think?
I think so.
I don't think she went far enough, though.
She didn't this week.
Yeah.
But I felt like that's what Rue was saying to her. She's like, sometimes you're too much. Sometimes. Not all the time.
I thought she was actually saying, like, just know that that's what you can do, and you bring it, and it's good, and show it. But
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It could be either.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard, I think it was Monique did a viewing party the week she went home. And she said there was a lot of stuff that you didn't see critiques about Eureka that they didn't show.
Oh, really?
About her showboating and being too loud
Well,
or being too much, and they were like, and so then everyone was like, oh my God, was the vixen right about her?
I mean, I think the producers are giving the vixen, not the vixen, Eureka, like a pretty clear arc.
A
like,
very clear winner's edit.
Trajectory.
They want you to know that she's going to be here till the end.
Right? Like
She may not win, but she's going to be around.
yeah. They had that episode, maybe episode 3, where they portrayed her as super annoying. Everyone couldn't stand her, and then like she sort of overcame that, and then she had all the controversy with the vixen.
And now they're all friends.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe it, especially after DragCon. Cameron! Rue called her a slow grower. Grower, not grow her. Grower. And it made me laugh. I'm not sure Cameron got it because she didn't laugh.
She would go, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha.
Yeah, robot. Rue criticized her for flying under the radar for the first half of the competition and told her it's time to break out or go home.
She said, it's time to be the wild child.
The wild child. She told her last week to be the rebel for Cher. And it worked, so.
Yeah.
Let's go, girl. Asia is gonna draw from her aunties for her character. They are conservative ladies. And RuPaul called her a champion.
I thought that was a really nice moment.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
And Asia got a little teary. She didn't bust out crying, but she got a little teary. I'm gonna flash back because now my prediction is that the top 2 are gonna be Asia and Aquaria.
I would agree.
I think it's gonna come down to the 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna flash because Rue just called her a champion. And like week 3, Rue called Aquaria the future of drag on the show, and they aired it.
Yep.
To me, that is foreshadowing. You should know, pick up on those clues because I believe that's gonna be final 2, and Rue called it weeks ago, which really wasn't weeks ago filming wise. But we'll talk about that in a bit too because that's my Aquaria shade for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And not Aquaria. Oh my God, Eureka shade for the day.
Uh-huh.
Not that I haven't said anything shady about her already.
Aquaria shade.
I would like some Aquaria shade too, but I don't know any.
Yeah.
Cracker is stuck in her head. That's all I'm gonna say about it. She can't do anything because she thinks too much.
She said, I'm not showing the trademark Cracker greatness.
And she's not.
Yeah.
If anyone has seen her live, which I have, and I'm going again at the end of this month to see her one-woman show, which will be very interesting. I hope. She's a great entertainer. She really is. And I had really high hopes for her, and I mean she's still there, so she's not doing super bad, but she's trailing off. I don't know if she's like plateaued and doesn't know what else to do.
I think they've kind of pegged her in their comments that she's just lost in her head. She's thinking about it too much.
She is. She's stuck in her head.
She can't let go. She can't just live in the moment.
Right.
You know? And
Yeah.
her I get the impression that her talent is like a really kind of in the moment talent, and she's not
Right.
letting herself do that.
Yeah, she's great on a microphone. She knows how to read a room. She knows how to react to people. And you don't have. And when she said that she was excited for a script, I was like, that's not what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do scripted. You're off the cuff. So yeah, she just needs to get out of her head. She'll be great on All Stars. That was my clue to saying she's probably not gonna win.
Uh-huh.
Even though she was one of my picks to win early on. So was Monet, who's probably not gonna be there either.
Mm-hmm.
Ross and Michelle are directing this beautiful piece of art. I will say VH1 spent some money on that set. It looked great.
Yeah.
It was one of the best sets they've ever had for an
fake
acting
pool.
challenge. The pool, everything around the little lounge chairs. They had the stage set up for bingo and the show. It was good. They spent some money. That's why they don't get good lip sync songs. Pit crew. Ooh, excuse me. The Pit Crew boys are just laying around. They have some bit parts. Cracker doesn't know what Love Boat is.
Wasn't there even like a redo of the Love Boat?
I'm
at some
sure
point?
there was.
Yeah.
But you should know what Love Boat is. I don't care how young
Yes.
you are, and she is not one of the younger queens on the show.
And if you start to research
But
Love Boat, you also need to know Fantasy
Apparently,
Islands.
she only got to watch an hour of television a week, and
Oh,
Love
that's
Boat was not
right.
it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's
Okay, she doesn't know who Love Boat is, but she's playing Julie, who was the cruise director on Love Boat, and now she is the cruising director of Breastworld. So she needs to be happy and bubbly, and she was not. Eureka can't seem to shoot her hairdryer.
That was so weird.
And my favorite one was the second take, and she did it, and nothing happened. And she's like, "I already shot you, baby." I was like,
Oh.
"You did?" And
like
so he
that.
fell down.
Yeah, I like that. He was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
Just went with it.
Yeah. Terrible. And she couldn't say Ivy Winters.
No, that was
What
crazy.
is wrong with you, girl?
Do you think I couldn't tell if she couldn't do it if she was trying to be a robot?
I
doing
think
it.
she thought she was trying to do it as a robot, and it didn't
Yeah.
work, girl.
And they couldn't get through to her.
They-
Like, no,
and
we're trying to
it
tell you not
never
to do that.
happened. They must have got one take because in the final thing she
Yeah.
did say it correctly,
Yeah.
so they must have got one take. We're
I think
doing it
she
right,
did
but
it well in the final take.
girl, yeah.
Ivy Winter.
Ivy Winters. Yeah.
And then
I
they
guess
all-
you're a robot, but
I enjoyed that moment when they all did it together.
I did too.
Yeah.
It was the come to Jesus moment.
Yes.
They all should have held hands. And then Ivy Winter should have like appeared from the ceiling. Or walked out on her stilts.
On stilts? Where did that come from?
She wore stilts on the
Did she?
show.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I can't remember
She's a
everything.
circus queen. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
juggles, does stilts. I think she wore stilts for the finale of her season. And she won Miss Congeniality in that.
Of course.
Yeah. Anyway, Eureka can't say her name right. Aquaria was told to fix her and she did.
Yeah.
And it was funny. She did the ton. That whole sequence, when you actually watch it, is genius with her and Eureka.
With who and Eureka?
Aquaria.
Explain.
When you watch, not in the taping of it, when you actually watch the whole thing,
Oh,
their back and forth
Yeah,
was
yeah.
genius. It was
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah, that's funny.
Cracker can't deliver shade.
No, my note here says Cracker struggles.
Struggles. It was hard to watch her struggle so much.
Yeah.
But then you look at Cameron, who can't do anything.
I didn't think Cameron was so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
she
mean,
didn't know
so-
her lines, first of all.
All right, so yes, in the rehearsal,
Right.
there were a lot of problems. And
No,
and
once
they're-
it was edited, it
yeah.
was fine.
Yeah. So I thought.
Her rehearsal was just bad.
I mean, they're right about their note that it was sort of one.
It was
one
flat.
level.
It was
but
flat.
It was a level that I've never seen from Cameron, which was like
Well, that
energy, emotion.
right.
like-
Well, and then you look at it and you're like, well, that was. And it's kind of how the share was. It was like, oh, well, it was great for Cameron.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
then they see Eureka this week, and they're like, well, that wasn't good enough for Eureka. Well, you have to judge them evenly. It was either good or not good.
I have a theory about Eureka. What was that?
Let's hear it.
Well, it's not really. I mean, so do you think that her not doing well this week had something to do with the Vixen being gone? Like, does Eureka need the Vixen to motivate
put that
her
fire under her?
to- yeah, to get,
Maybe.
to get have that.
No, I
energy.
think Eureka is looking at the other queens and realizing that she might not be the top queen in this group.
Uh-huh.
And so I think
see
it got
that.
in her head that way.
I think also though,
Because I think she always thought that she was better than the Vixen. And once the Vixen was gone, she's like, oh, all of these rest of these queens could beat me.
Yeah. Our theory's sort of
They line up, yeah. It does.
connected.
They both are affected by Vixen.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I think. It's just like, oh, all the queens that left, I knew I could do better than. These other queens, I'm either at the same level or less than.
Right.
So maybe that's what's in her head. I don't know. Again, she wasn't terrible, you know.
My note here about Cameron says Cameron looks like she's in pain.
She was.
Yeah.
She was definitely out of her element. I did find it funny that she's like, I want to redeem myself in an acting challenge since I messed up the dating app one. And I was like,
Yeah.
you sure did, girl. Acting is not your thing. Stick to Cher.
So far, we found that that's what you're good at.
That is your strength. In the workroom, we learned that the runway is Silver Foxy. They're going to be old ladies. And maybe we saw that in the commercial, the preview as well. So we knew it was happening. But this is supposed to be what they're going to look like in 50 years. I wish someone had done like a skeleton look.
Oh yeah.
It would have been so funny.
Like if someone was like, "Oh,
to come
I'm
out
gonna be dead."
and just like a skeleton bodysuit and paint your face as a skull with a wig and some heels. Dead. You're dead.
Then like a sugar skull.
Yeah. So good. No one did it. I also wish someone would have come out dressed as RuPaul.
Oh my god.
Because I think it would have been hysterical. and it should have been Aquaria. Because that would have been the funniest.
Yeah. Maybe she kind of did.
Because, yeah, I mean, she could have been, she's like, yeah, when I'm 70, like RuPaul, this is what I'm going to look like. Yeah, it would have been hysterical, but no one did it. But then they talk about the older queens. Aquaria relates to older queens more than younger queens because she can talk to them. She talks about her friendship with Amanda Lepore, who is an icon. If you don't know who she is, she's kind of a monster to look at. I have seen her vagina now twice and never asked to see it once.
You mean she's just dropping it here and there?
I went to the Barshland Follies. I went twice. She performs at all of them because she and Suzanne Barsh are good friends. And the first time Suzanne Barsh just ripped her panties down. And then the second time she just got naked on stage.
Is it pronated?
It is. No, they call it the $1 million vagina. I don't know that that's really how much it costs, but it's probably worth that much. She probably has it insured. Because it is a big part of her act. If you see her live, you will probably see her naked. If she's performing. If you're just seeing her out, she'll be dressed like Marilyn Monroe. But she says that Amanda helped shape her creativity, and she got to learn from a time that she wasn't a part of. So I think that's exciting. Good for her.
Yeah, it seemed like a very mature thing to...
Yeah, good for you, Aquaria. She knows her history. And then Cracker and Monet talk about Darnell. She was the oldest living drag queen, but I believe she has passed. She was 96 when she died, and still doing drag, which is genius.
Was she a drag queen, like, for a long time?
I think for a very long time, and I think her jokes never changed.
I got that impression.
But yeah, she was 96 and was still doing drag. And then Cracker said a very shady thing. This is how you throw shade, Cracker. You did it right. She's like, she's the oldest living drag queen besides Shaquita. And if you know who Shaquita is, she is old. She's not 96. But she and RuPaul came up together. And they are essentially the same queen. But RuPaul went on to fame, and Shaquita is here in New York, still working at bars.
Yeah, like occasionally doing...
No, she works a lot.
I mean, I only mean occasionally, like, she like crosses into my world, really.
Right.
Like,
well,
she'll be at some event that I go
She
to.
does every Suzanne Barsh show as well. She's part of that Suzanne Barsh thing, family. So Shaquita does all those shows. Shaquita does a show at Hardware every Friday. She does a show at Pieces, I think Saturdays. That says a lot when you're working at Pieces.
Yeah.
So she's still working around town in bars, making her money. She got a husband. She don't need to do anything else. But it was funny. For those of you who know Shaquita, she's old. She's probably the same age as RuPaul. And then we move on to dating.
Yeah.
Cracker and Asia have boyfriends. No one else does. Cameron wants a husband. And then Asia tells us a crazy story about her ex-boyfriend, who was also a drag queen. Broke up with her by text, which you should never do. At least, if you're not going to do it in person, at least call them. Mm-hmm. A text is very one-sided. So you don't do it. Don't do it by text, don't do it by email, and don't just ghost. Have a breaking point. But anyway, so this other queen was a drag queen as well and came to one of her shows, and her sisters chased him out with a baseball bat. And that's when she realized that there really is a sisterhood.
Yeah.
She brought up RuPaul's Best Friends race, which hasn't been mentioned, I don't think, this season at all. But she says, everyone will say that it's not RuPaul's Best Friend race, but you have no choice but to be friends with these people. Because really, that's the only people you're talking to. Yeah. You were stuck with them for 3 weeks.
But I guess they don't have to like them.
I guess you don't have to. Yeah, and I mean, their personalities aren't always going to gel. But yeah, I mean, if you want someone to talk to, those are the only people you have to talk to.
Aquaria said, when they asked her, she said, "I don't date." Do you think that she meant that in some specific way?
I don't know, because
she didn't say I'm not dating anyone,
right.
She said I don't.
Yeah, she is currently not seeing anyone, as she stated in the show I was at. But she said she is looking for someone.
Oh, okay. So maybe she just didn't choose
the words. I think her words were just not right.
I believe that with Aquaria.
Yeah, she often doesn't get her words right. Do you want more drinks, girl?
Yeah.
Sorry, we're taking a drink break.
Okay.
Anything else about dating?
No.
It was fun. It was great to talk about it. Onto the runway. So our theme is Silver Foxies. RuPaul is once again a week behind.
She looks like a giant in this picture.
She's so much taller than everyone else. She got the memo a week late and decided to do the glitter challenge. As it seems to have been all season long, she's a week behind. Maybe it's because she was sick.
So when she wore that face mask, what challenge did that correspond to?
I don't know. That was... It was the Club Kid challenge from last season. She was sick that day, and so I think she just didn't put makeup on.
She didn't want to wear a surgical mask?
Yeah, she put makeup on. She didn't want to put, all she had to do was put a lip on, and they really made it weird.
Did they like go way
It was
around?
like at her nose, yeah. It was so big. And I think it was because of the hole. I think when they put the thing up, the hole just kind of expanded.
It probably looked weird to have like skin showing.
Yeah, her skin underneath it. So she could have had the Asia mustache.
Which I thought served the same purpose.
Was the same thing. This dress, it's a gorgeous dress. It's a typical RuPaul dress. Her hips are everything though. This season her padding has been really good. Her hairline is a mess. I don't get her hairline. It's been this way for now 2 seasons. All Stars in here, it's Delta work doing her hair. And apparently Delta doesn't know where a hairline starts.
But I feel like it does look weird if you just look at the hairline, but when you look at the whole thing, it all kind of works.
It works. It's just a giant forehead.
Yeah.
So I just want it pulled down just to like an inch. Not even that much.
Although we both have pretty big foreheads.
I have a receding head. Yeah. I'm a man. I'm not a woman.
That's true.
When I wear a wig, I wear it down.
All right. I'm with you.
Yeah, but she looks good. I'm not gonna fault RuPaul. What did you think of the Broad City Girls as judges?
So I don't really know that show.
I don't
they're
either
from.
at all. Do they do a joke about prolapsed clitorises?
Yes, Alana.
Because Ru said it to both of them.
Yes, Alana said, she
Her
said
clitoris
Mike
is engorged.
Yeah. And to me, that's like sometimes the judges come in and they just want to say something like sexual or controversial or whatever. I guess they're excited to be there, and I didn't really appreciate her saying that necessarily.
I didn't either, and that's why I was like, maybe all this clitoris talk is from their show. If you know Broad City, please comment about it because I don't know anything about it.
I just thought it was like purposefully just trying to be like shocking. For
Right.
No reason.
It was basically her saying, "I have a hard on."
Yeah. Good point. Now I get it. Oh, totally now.
I don't have a lot of experience with the clitoris. So maybe it gets engorged, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Feel free to talk about that too.
Yes.
And then the other one, Abby said that she's officially died because she's on the show. She loves the show.
Yes.
Ru has been on their show, if you didn't know that.
And I actually thought it was funny when Ru just repeated the same joke.
And then she said, yeah, the same thing about a prolapse clitoris to her. I was like, that's original. That's why I'm wondering if it's part of their show.
Maybe.
Because Ru's been on their show. Maybe they talk about it on that. Who knows?
Do you think Peter knows what a prolapse clitoris is?
No, but he knows what a prolapse colon is. Because he's always pushing it back in.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Eamon wrote, is that part of their show? See, I don't know. Cracker came out and called herself a glamorous matriarch. What do you think?
Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
I think it's kind of basic, actually. I don't know why they liked it so much. She,
I get it.
I mean, she looks good.
Yeah.
But it didn't wow me in any way.
No, my favorite
really.
part of it is the glasses.
Oh, I actually like the
purse
that
is
she
cute
made out
too,
of
yeah.
Newspaper.
The purse is cute. Do you see this hem that's coming out on the front?
Oh, yeah.
I was really noticeable when she walked down the runway, but it's like a little piece of it is falling out.
Yeah. I mean, I thought she looks good, well put together, but it didn't really excite me.
Yeah, I wasn't overly excited. I mean, I gave it a 2.
I gave it a
because it looks good.
Actually.
You gave it a boot?
A nude, no, a nude.
Oh, a nude. Okay. Yeah.
That's
Did
like
you watch the
out.
Toots and Boots this week?
No, I didn't get a chance to
Raven
watch
would
it.
not let Raja use a nude. She's like, no, that doesn't exist.
I always feel like when you send our scores, like with the Toots and Boots, I can't find that it's actually out yet. Do
They're
you have
not.
some special way
Yes.
of seeing it?
If you have the Wow Plus app, it comes out early Friday.
Got it.
It's not usually out until usually late Saturday, sometimes not till Sunday otherwise.
The Wow
But
Plus.
the Wow Plus app, you have to pay for it. You get bonus stuff. I'm excited because I'm gonna watch the Drag Race Thailand. They just put that up a few weeks ago, so I'm gonna watch that. I will do that after this season because I don't want to get all mushed up. And maybe I'll talk about it if I really like it. But I heard that it's fantastic. That it's a great episode, a great season. So I'll be watching that. Maybe we'll have some viewing parties and talk about it on here.
If I had to toot or boo this, I would toot it, but it would be a weak toot.
Okay. Yeah, you can say Newt. I didn't care. I enjoyed the Newt when
Yeah.
Aja did it,
I
but
just feel like it's not-
Raven was not having it.
I do feel like it's a cop out, so
It is
we should
a little
commit.
bit. Asia is an old showgirl.
It's a boot for me.
Boot.
Yeah.
This is terrible. I don't get the hair. I don't get the outfit. I don't
No.
understand the potato chips.
I understand what she was trying to do.
And none of it came together.
I just didn't like it at all.
Her glasses gag was the funniest part
That was
of this.
cute.
It was funny. She's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, yeah. Yeah, this outfit makes no sense for an old lady. I didn't get her hair starting here, like as a comb over.
Oh, you think she was going for sort of the
I don't
crossover
know.
effect?
I didn't get it.
I didn't
but
get it either.
the knot started here and went over her head.
You at least have some theory that's
Yeah.
farther along than I ever got.
I like the idea of it, but if you had that, it wouldn't start on the side of your head. It would start in the middle and go back.
I think maybe the problem is I can't tell if she's trying to do a gag. Like, at least Monet's gag was clearly a gag.
Right.
Right? And I don't mean a gag like gag.
No, like a
but-
joke.
Yeah, a
It was
joke.
meant to be funny. This, if it was meant to be funny, it's not.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
It wasn't clear.
Boot. Boot,
Boot.
boot, boot. Sorry. Monet came out and she basically said, I'm a mess. And boy, was she right. She did her little costume reveal with her saggy tits. I loved it. I think it's so funny. I love that she has alcohol in her Ivy bags. I love that her tits are hanging around her vagina. You did not like it, I know.
So the problem I had with this is that it's sort of one-dimensional. It's just a gag.
It's just a gag.
It's too
There's-
far along the path towards gag, and it's
Yeah.
missing a lot of the things that I want to see that would excite me.
I loved it. I loved the Gollum hair.
Yeah.
That's-
and I keep waiting for Monet to kind of take the judge's advice and like do something glamorous.
Yeah,
And she just didn't. I was kind of a little disappointed.
My fear is that she's gonna do that,
And then she's gonna.
and
get
then they're gonna
eliminated.
send her home.
Yeah, that
I mean,
always
that's
has
not
to
you.
happen.
Really? Because you've been telling me to do this all week.
So I did enjoy it, and when she whipped open the gown,
Yeah.
I laughed.
It was
I
so
really
funny.
liked it.
It was so funny. And that's what she does. So I'm glad that she stuck with her brand. She stayed true to herself, and I give you a toot because I loved it.
I booted it.
You can boot it. Miss Aquaria, and she is coming as an aging fashion queen.
I loved it.
I think it's genius.
Yeah, I think it's gorgeous. I didn't
Um,
understand Michelle's criticism of it.
Michelle is a bitch.
Yeah. By the way, can we talk about Michelle for a minute?
Yeah.
During when she was directing the queens, she said, "You're from New York. You should know how to be patronizing."
Patronizing!
I was offended.
Yeah.
I mean, girl, you're from LA.
No,
I'm
she's
not
not.
gonna-
She's
oh,
from Jersey.
She's from Jersey. Oh. Yeah, well, she actually is rocking that pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
Michelle is the worst. I know why she's there, and I know that she loves drag queens, and I know that she has a lot to say, but a lot of what she says is wrong.
I like her on the show in general. I know you've met her and you've had, I think, some bad experience.
I
but,
did.
I think she's good on the show, but that was sort of offensive.
It was.
Like, to New York in
It
general.
was. All
New Yorkers are wonderful.
Are not patronizing.
Yeah. I have so many amazing experiences in New York with people in general all
Yeah.
the time, all over the place. New York is amazing.
Yeah. Way to go, Michelle.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
Aquaria.
Way to throw down where you
Yeah.
actually come from. Aquaria. She did this weird tattooed fashion moment. The earlobes were genius. It's details like that that really impressed me about
I
her.
thought the earlobes were a great idea. They didn't execute so well.
No, they don't, because they don't match her skin.
Yeah.
If she should have painted them, and maybe it wouldn't stay to it. I don't know.
And I love this picture because the whole time, and I watched the episode several times, but I don't know if that's so.
Yeah, you can see it
now. I couldn't really see her shoes.
Yeah.
And I kept feeling like there was something going on down there that
She
I was
wore
missing.
them on Thursday.
And so are these spring? They're
They are
springs. In there?
springs, yeah.
Ah.
It's very,
can't
everything
even-
she does has a purpose and it's smart.
Yeah. I thought she crushed
So,
it.
she looked great.
Just amazing.
So good. So
And,
good.
and Rue had the best line because when Michelle was saying, or at some point, that she didn't look like she was older,
Oh.
Rue was like, "Listen, she's 21.
Well,
this is
and-
what she thinks
right.
she's gonna look
and
like."
Rue
in
was
50
like, that's what
years."
I hope to look like in 50
Yeah.
years.
Which is why I was shocked when Aquaria didn't win.
Yeah, me too. But it's a giant two.
Yeah.
Two.
She was my top 2.
Yeah. Eureka says that this is what she would wear to the opera. I don't know what opera she'd go into, but if you wore that, they probably would not let you in the door.
Yes, ladies would faint.
It is not good. It is not good. It is basically a dark purple coat, cape coat. I don't know what to call it, with some stretch fabric catsuit.
She looks really lumpy in this picture.
And she looks, yeah, it looks so bad on her. Her hair and the glasses are great. Her face, from her neck up, I think she looks good. She doesn't look old, to me. She doesn't know how to do age makeup, apparently. I wrote that she looks like Fran's mother from The Nanny.
Oh yeah. I just wrote kind of basic.
It's basic.
In the same way as Cracker.
Yeah.
But even
Yeah.
Cracker's sort of was a
Boring.
little bit more
Nothing special.
well put together.
Yeah, it looked better. This is a boot.
Yep.
Sorry, Eureka, a boot.
Dude.
She kept saying that she had no reason to wear this jacket, and so she just wore it for this.
Yeah,
Because
that hurt her.
Because it spins well. Maybe she knew she was going to lip sync. Which we'll also get to
She
because...
did say she was happy to be wearing something comfortable.
Yes, and we'll get to that when she takes it off with the lip sync. It doesn't even wear it. And then we have Grandma Yetta. And those of you who watch The Nanny know that that is Grandma Yetta right there. It is Cameron, and she looks fantastic.
I thought it was great.
It's so good.
Just
She called
perfectly
herself
executed.
Gladys the Hoarder. I call her Yetta. But everything about it was right. The prosthetic was good. There was a point where her necklace moved, and you could see her prosthetic lines. So just cover that up. Cover your tattoos.
I mean, I'm fooled by her in this picture. She
Yeah, you would
looks
never
like an
think
old
that's her.
lady.
You would never think that that's her.
Yeah. Which
Except
actually is-
for the tattoos that she refuses to cover, apparently. But they distract me, especially in this.
I'm gonna come back to that. You'd never think that was her line a little later.
All right.
Because-
But it's a toot.
Yeah.
Good job, Cameron.
Toot.
She did get the top toot on Toots and Boots as
Oh,
well.
did she?
Yeah. Breastworld, the show. We mentioned Stephen Colbert narrates it, so we tied him back in finally. Randy Rainbow made a cameo, sang us a little song.
Yeah.
I was entertained by the whole thing.
I was too.
People are saying that it was too long, and I was like, no, I could have watched actually some more of it.
There were a couple of moments where I thought like it was gonna
That was
end,
it,
and then it kept going. Yeah. But I didn't mind.
I enjoyed it. Cameron was by far the worst, I thought. You didn't agree? Because you didn't think she... I mean, I didn't think anyone was terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
But of them, I thought she was the worst.
Might be between Cameron and Eureka.
And Eureka...
Although I think I had a few good moments.
Right, Eureka got a really good edit
Yeah.
from the editors, because everything she did worked really well, but you didn't see that in the rehearsal.
Where is the whole thing cobbled together from the rehearsal? Did they just
I
take the
think so.
best?
I think they probably do like 20 takes.
Okay.
Or as many takes as they feel like they need to get a good shot.
Michelle was clearly done.
Michelle was over it.
Yeah.
She was over it with Cameron because Cameron couldn't get her lines. But I enjoyed it. I thought Aquaria was the best one out there.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Aquaria.
She was great. Monet and Asia were both great as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt like Aquaria stood out more. Cracker was stiff.
Cracker is so stiff. And she was
and-
playing a robot, and it still didn't work.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if she was actually one of the robots or if she was an actual person.
I think she was a robot.
Okay.
There were some times when they were showing the whole group, and she was kind of moving
Oh, okay.
robotically.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what she was.
Yeah.
The judges loved Cracker's runway, but did not like her in the challenge. Cameron, they thought had a great runway, but was very one note in the challenge. I think we all know that that's true. Ross told her to cover up her tattoos. I don't think she will, but I agree with Ross. And not always, just it distracted me last week in her glitter outfit. Because her outfit, I hated her outfit last week, first of all. But all I could focus on was her chest tattoo, because that's the statement.
It was the focal point.
Yeah. And so I think just in some instances she needs to cover them up. I like tattoos, but when it's right, it's right. And when it's not,
She
it's
just
not.
has to be aware of them and
Right.
know that sometimes...
Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Monet, they thought she was great in the challenge and that she had ad-libs. They called her very relatable.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Ross thought the runway was super funny, and Michelle hated it. And Rue mentioned that she told her to wear some big wigs and some heels.
She did,
And
over and over.
she did
and
not.
Over again.
Rue did tell her that, but
Pretty
Monet did not.
Pretty much every time she talks to her.
Every time she talks to Monet, she said, put on a wig. Aquaria, they said that she wasn't old. Well, that they did not say that. Michelle said that. And Ross said she won the runway, but not for this challenge, which was funny. But I disagree, because I thought she did great in this challenge.
I thought she slayed it.
Yeah. Rue liked it. And one of the Broad City girls, I'm not sure which one, said that she was her favorite in the challenge.
The one that was not Alana.
Abby.
I only wrote down one of their names.
Okay, Abby. Abby said it then.
Yeah.
Eureka, they said they didn't get her outfit. No one did, because it wasn't really an outfit.
Right.
And that she didn't pop in the challenge like she should have. Okay.
Yeah.
Asia, they didn't get her look. You were not alone. And that she was great in the challenge.
She was great in the challenge.
She did.
We didn't really talk about that very much.
No, she was actually really good in the challenge.
Yeah.
She had really good energy
When she
coming
came
out
in,
there.
it like really did reinvigorate.
Yeah,
challenge,
it
which was kind of
it
dragging
brought
up
you
a little
back
bit
up
at that point.
Yeah, it brought you back up.
Yeah.
The judges talked, but we're not, because they said the exact same thing we just talked about. But I love that Rue called them the Broad City Titty Committee. It made me laugh. And then she said, "Bring back my Golden Girls," which also makes me laugh because I love the Golden Girls. I love that Rue pointed out, she's literally the first thing she said when they came back was, "You all did an amazing job this week." But they're at the point where the cuts are going to be hard.
They're deep.
They're hard and deep. And so that was her warning to them all. We find out that Monet is safe.
Fair. Fine.
She should be used to being safe now.
That was appropriate.
But yeah, she didn't win this challenge. She was safe. Asia is announced as the winner.
Anyone else perplexed?
Really?
Where did that come from?
Okay. She won a 4-night stay at a B&B in Vermont. Great.
I would say she might have won the acting challenge part, but her runway...
Her runway is and this is one of the instances where I think the runway had nothing to do with the decisions. At all.
I feel like it should, though.
It should. I feel like it should, but I feel like this week it did not.
Yeah.
It was like,
It's weird.
Okay. Because her runway was
I
terrible.
feel like Rue just wanted Asia to win this week, and so she
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she called her champion.
Mm-hmm.
And look, she won. Yeah, so Asia won. Really, Aquaria won. Sorry.
I would agree. Aquaria won.
Aquaria thought she should have won as well.
Do you saw the look on her face when they announced Asia?
Oh, she commented on this. She's like, "That's shady. That's not really what I look like." I was like, "It kind of was." Yeah, it was funny. Aquaria is then safe. Eureka is up for elimination. Cameron also up for elimination. They are both from Tennessee, and Cracker is safe.
Cracker is lucky.
Lucky. Two old queens stand before me. Rue is just loving this old thing.
I feel like she is really settled in and like in her groove right now.
I think she is finally enjoying being on the show.
Yeah.
I don't know that she has ever had so much fun on the show.
Yep. I'm enjoying it.
And I love it too, because that just makes me happy that she's having a good time and it's not just her job.
She seems super relaxed.
Yeah. We have a lip sync to Patti LaBelle's New Attitude. Go.
Oh, well, so it was a fantastic lip sync,
It was.
really. I mean, I enjoyed every second. Energy, the one of my favorite things was when Eureka did that split, and then she like shimmied around in the circle. I was like, "What's going on right now?" It was so cool. And then they did the double split, and Cameron showed off her flexibility a little bit there, which is kind of impressive.
Yes.
I sure could not do that. Not only could I not even come anywhere near doing that split, but
Yeah,
even I think with my legs in front of me, I couldn't.
She did a real split. She
far.
did a side split, not
Yeah.
a horizontal. I don't know what they're called, but not
like the scissor split.
right. Not a scissor split. She did a side split, and those are hard.
Yeah, that was really.
And they are
impressive.
hard on your pelvis, and when you are jumping into one, it's even worse. So good for her.
But the weird thing to me about this lip sync, I feel like in the lip sync you actually get a chance to know the girls like in a little bit of a different way. 'Cause
Right.
You don't really get to see them perform that way. But Cameron's costume was so convincing that she was someone else that I didn't feel like I was watching Cameron.
Right.
And so I
It
kind
was-
of feel like I lost that. Like I didn't get to know
Get to
Cameron
see her
doing
personality in it.
performing.
Right.
Yeah.
Her face couldn't move because
Yeah.
she had that prosthetic on. She took off her earrings, which is a Patti LaBelle trait.
is
I'm
it?
glad she got that. And then she got the shakes, which is also Patti LaBelle.
Yeah.
Those of you who are younger probably don't know that, but Patti LaBelle is a crazy performer. They both took off their jackets. This is where I talked about Eureka wanting to wear that jacket because she said it twirled well, and then she took it off and didn't even twirl in it. So, way to go.
Yeah.
Eureka did those high kicks. The high kicks I thought were everything coming down that
Mhm.
runway. I didn't need that split. And then the coochie.
Oh really? I love that.
It was fun, but I didn't need it. Because the double split was better. And I think too many tricks distract from it. And I feel like that's taking away from her performance. So I wouldn't have done that first split. I kept the double split.
But did you notice when Eureka did that first split, Cameron did like a cartwheel or a flip or something at the same
No.
time?
Yeah. I'll have to go back and look at that
Yeah,
because I did not see that.
It was just sort of in
I
the
wish
corner of the
I
screen.
wish they would do them side by side so that you could see what everyone was doing at the same time rather than the camera going back and forth. But it's not my show. They both get to stay. Spoiler! Sorry, I should have said that first, but you know how that works. They're both staying.
Were you expecting that? I mean,
I had, before the show started,
Yeah.
I had heard that there was going to be a non-elimination week. And I wanted it to be when Monet and Mayhem lip synced.
that's me too.
I really wanted it that week. And then I thought it was going to be the week of Asia and Vixen. Because I was like, they just want to keep the Vixen around.
I didn't. That I did not.
Wouldn't have agreed with
Yeah.
that one, but then I was like, maybe that's the one. And then when I saw this one, I was like, oh, this is clearly the one. They're
Mhm.
both going to stay. And that's because I knew that there was going to be one at some point.
Well, I think you and I early in the season we were like looked at the number of episodes and the number of
Yeah.
girls, and we were like, "There's a couple of extra numbers.
There's
a
an
couple
episode.
extra in
Yeah,
there."
there's an episode. So there's not going to be a double elimination either because they have too many episodes.
Mhm.
They're both going to stay. Fine.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I was happy.
It was
about
the right decision. I'm not going to dispute that. I am going to say that the very first episode, I think it was the first episode this season. The first? When Alyssa was the choreographer. Maybe it was the second episode.
Yeah, I don't think that was first. But
No,
it was
because they
early.
did that runway thing first.
Yeah.
The second episode, I think. Eureka was worried about dancing because of her
Mhm.
knee, and so she was using that as an excuse, her PTSD.
She's over that.
This filming doesn't take that long. That second episode was maybe a week and a half ago,
Oh.
and all of a sudden she can dance.
I thought they
and
do two
splits.
per week, right?
They do 2 to 3 per week.
Okay.
They're only there for 3 weeks.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And so her PTSD, she got over pretty quick.
Wait, there's 14 episodes, right?
Yeah.
They can't do that in 3 weeks. That's like
I-
4.5 episodes per week.
It's 3.5 to 4 weeks that they're there. So at the most 2 weeks, and all of a sudden she's healed and can do tricks and tricks and tricks. Again, she's just using too many excuses for me. That is just my opinion. I have nothing else to say about Eureka, but it was shady. I didn't take any notes on Untucked because I only watched it once and I watched it live. But do you have anything to say about Untucked?
I mean, I watched it a couple of times, but
Did you think it was boring?
No, I didn't think it was
Okay.
boring. I'm trying to remember what happened though. This is
Um,
why you're the host of the show.
People say that it was boring because Vixen wasn't there to stir up drama. I didn't care about that.
I mean, I didn't really enjoy Vixen's drama necessarily.
No, her drama became uncomfortable drama. to me.
I know that everyone's saying that there was a lot of meaning in what she was doing, and so I'm just,
There was.
just trying to.
And I say that too. I think what she had to say was important, but she is not the right spokesperson for that.
Yeah.
That's all I have. That's all I say about it. I think her message is great. She's just said it poorly. And I think Asia kind of tried to redirect her the last episode, and she just didn't have time to fix it.
A lot of what happened in Untucked was about the girls trying to get through to Cameron about
This time, yeah.
her kind of
Her dead soul.
self-loathing.
Her
maybe
dead
you could
soul.
say. Yeah. And even
yeah,
when-
it was Cracker kind of came for her.
Yeah. Well, it was Cracker's mom and sister that were
Yeah,
on,
that were on the
right?
videos, yeah.
And even they made that about Cameron and sort of like, you know,
Yeah, it was weird to turn that on her.
yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I will say that Cracker looks just like her mom.
Yeah?
They are definitely mother and son, mother and daughter. But because her face looks almost exactly like her.
Cameron gets up and walks out.
Cameron left the room. They played the shadiest music for that too. Asia said she's worried about her as a whole, not about the situation, but as a whole. But I don't think, Asia, you need to worry about her. I think she's fine. I wish we'd get more personality from her, but we're not going to.
But it's not even so much the personality; it's the sort of she sort of hates herself. It almost feels like.
Yeah, and that probably has but I don't know. She said that her family was super supportive of her coming out.
Really?
Even. Yeah, she and Eureka talked about that outside.
Like, it's a little bit extreme the way she interacts with the world, I guess, or at least
Yeah.
within the context of the show.
She's from a very conservative part of the country.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to grow up there.
So,
And apparently she's had a lot of boy problems, even with doing drag and boy problems.
So I guess she's just trying to
So,
sort of hold
yeah.
everybody away at arm's
Yeah,
length.
she's keeping herself guarded. She needs to change that. You're on a TV show.
Yeah. We would enjoy you more, Cameron, if you would just let all that go.
Yeah.
So.
I think she's a good performer. I've seen her live. You couldn't see it in this because she was in that costume.
Yeah.
But I think when you see her lip sync for real, you'll see a little bit more. She likes to shake her hair.
I enjoyed that in this
Like
lip sync.
an 80s Vixen kind of Tawny Katane
Oh.
hair metal band kind of hair, back and forth and side to side. It just flies everywhere. But she don't wear big wigs. She wears flat wigs, and that's what I really don't like about her the most. What else happened in Untucked?
Hey, I have another question though.
Yeah.
Why do you think so? When they were both safe, Rue could have chosen either one to make safe first. Do you think there's a reason why she did it in the order she did?
Because she's shady.
But in what way? Like, why was it shady
I think
to do it the way
they
she
would
did?
I think they knew they would get more of a reaction from Eureka.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
Yeah.
thinking actually.
Because Cameron doesn't show anything. She didn't even seem happy that she got to be safe.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're going to talk about that in the first 10 minutes. She'd be like, I'm really excited that I can go home.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it's just more, you're going to get more of a reaction from Eureka than Cameron.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Next week we're doing makeovers. I don't know who they're making over.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I missed that or if I just didn't really make it clear.
They didn't make it clear, I don't think. And I mean, I was in a bar watching it, so I don't really, maybe it was just loud and I missed it, but they're doing makeovers of someone. Who do you think is going to do well with the makeovers?
I think Aquaria will do well.
I think this is her challenge to win. If she
Yeah.
doesn't win this one.
I mean, she has a good eye.
Yeah, she knows how to do makeup and she knows how to work with people's bodies.
I think Monet will not do well.
I fear that she's going to struggle because she can't even put her own costumes together.
Exactly. It would be interesting to see what she can do on another person, though.
Yeah.
Maybe that's, a whole
It's
different
true.
thing.
Maybe the other person will look better than her.
Yeah.
You never know.
So
I
that
think
might be-
Cracker might do well, actually.
Maybe.
Asia will probably do well because she is a great makeup and costume person. So she might do well as well.
What about Cameron?
Sure. I hope she gets a muscle queen
Oh.
to make over.
Wouldn't it be fun to see her get like a really feminine, like
It
kinda
would.
queen to make over?
It would. That would be a challenge at least.
Mhm.
I think if she gets a challenge, she won't do well. I think she needs someone like her to make over, or she won't do well.
She needs the peg to fit in the hole.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't find her that creative to come up with something different. But again, that's just me. And not that I don't like Cameron. I want more from her. So yeah, I think right now Monet is the one I worry about the most.
Yeah. I think my bottom two right now, or maybe my next two to be eliminated, are Cracker and Monet.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's very sad. But I kind of agree.
Yeah. And who is, after your top two, who's your number three?
So I go with a top four because I'm going on the idea that they're going to do it the same way as last year.
Are you going to give them in order, in any order, or no?
I'm going to do a top four. My top two are Asia and Aquaria, I think.
Mine too.
I would love for Cracker and Monet to be in the top four, but I don't think they will be. Neither of them has won a challenge yet.
Nope, so that's
and
Eureka
and
Cameron?
that puts Eureka and Cameron, which makes me, that's what I was talking about earlier that made me sad. The fact that Cameron somehow makes it to top four. Somehow.
I mean, other than the just sort of bizarreness of his personality, there's the drag I think is really good.
It is. I'm not disputing
Yeah.
that. I have some issue. I mean,
It's just hard to root for him because you can't relate
there's
to him.
nothing to root for.
Yeah.
Sometimes I watch it and I'm like, how did you even get on this show? I would love to see your audition video because there had to be something there that they saw and that I'm not seeing. And maybe, I watch Crackers. She does a recap called Review with a Jew.
Okay.
And it is hysterical. If you have
Never
never
heard
seen
that.
it, go watch it. It's so funny.
Where is it?
It's just on YouTube. It's called Review with a Jew. I didn't know that if she would do it for her season because she did it for the other past seasons. I didn't know if she'd do it for this because she was on it, but she has, and she's talked about herself.
Oh, that's funny.
She's talked about other queens.
I'm gonna watch from the beginning.
But she says that the reason you're not seeing Cameron is because she would not give the producers what they wanted. She wouldn't talk about other queens. She wasn't shady about it. And so they're not going to use that.
But you know what? They use Monet all the time. She's funny. She says things about other queens, but it's not hurtful.
Right.
Right?
But I don't think Cameron can do that.
Yeah.
Cameron doesn't have that personality. She's not a funny queen. She's a look queen. Her looks are great. Except for her wigs, which I don't like. But that's, again, my personal feelings about her wigs. No one else's. Yeah, so to me, Cameron is not top four, but I think she's going to be in the top four.
Yeah, I think so too.
I also wouldn't put Eureka there, but I think she's there.
I think that
I think I'm tired of her.
There were episodes of this season, several, where I felt like she really could win the whole thing.
Eureka.
And then there are others where I'm like, maybe not. So I don't mind her being.
Well,
in
and
the
yeah,
top
and
four.
the whole thing is, people are ready for a big queen to win, and I am too. But I don't think Eureka is that queen. And maybe I'm wrong.
Well, we'll find out.
If she is, I hope she has a good attitude. Because from what I heard at DragCon,
You want to talk about that a little?
well, sure. So Bianca posted the funniest thing. She posted it on Instagram, but she apparently had also posted it at her booth at DragCon.
Like, she hung up a piece of paper on the wall.
Yeah, because Bianca was only there Friday and Saturday. She wasn't there on Sunday. So on Sunday, she put up a sign that says Bianca was here yesterday. And then there was a sign next to it that said, I don't understand these queens that come to DragCon. They're here for their fans. They talk about how they love their fans. And then they take 42 breaks and they're never at their booth. And apparently that was Eureka.
Well, she's a cigarette smoker.
She's a smoker. That's what I said to her. I was like, well, she had to go out for cigarettes.
It hurts me every time actually I see her smoking cigarette in the
Me too, but Aquaria smokes too, and I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I didn't either. I think Cameron does too, because Cameron goes out with Eureka, but you never see her actually smoking.
Maybe she's just there for support.
Maybe.
I don't know. Girl, stop smoking.
Don't smoke,
It hurts
girl.
to watch you smoke.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
Yeah, we love you. Stop.
Yeah. So I figured she went out for a smoke break. She also did, I think, 3 panels. She wasn't there for 3 hours, would be panels. But Asia O'Hara took pictures with every queen from season 10 except Eureka.
Okay.
Because Eureka was never at her booth. And some of the other queens came to Asia, and Eureka did not come to Asia's booth. And so there was a little bit of shadiness. And now the rumor is that it wasn't Eureka that didn't take a picture with her. It was the people at her booth. They didn't know who Asia was.
Oh.
When she came up to the booth.
Interesting.
And so they didn't let her through.
Was she dressed like in her old lady costume?
No. She was dressed as Asia O'Hara.
Okay.
And really all she would have had to say was, I'm Asia O'Hara, I'm on season 10, and they should have known who she was.
Yeah.
So that is weird. I don't get that. But at DragCon, the queens, you have to buy something to take a photo with the queens.
Okay,
You buy some
fair.
kind of merchandise. And apparently at Eureka's booth, it said you had to spend $10, which was the cost of like an 8x10 photo that they sign, and then they take a picture
Or
with
like,
you.
what do they charge for a T-shirt?
It varies.
More than $10, I think. though.
Yes, I think the cheapest T-shirt is probably $25. The most expensive was probably $40.
Okay.
But so a lot of the people that go to DragCon are teenagers. A lot of them are teenage girls, and they are straight. And so, at least 3 of them posted something about Eureka where they bought the picture. They don't have a lot of money. They bought the picture, they're $10 to get up there, and then Eureka says, no, you have to buy a T-shirt too, which was $40.
Oh.
Just to take a photo with her. That's shady when your sign says you have to spend $10. Oh, it's really low. Oh, I think it disconnected. That's why. Let's try again.
It's alright. Just leave it.
Battery 70%. Connected to batteries pad.
That's my pad. There it is.
Oh yeah, what a difference.
It's amazing what a speaker can do.
So what happened? Eureka made them spend an extra $40 to get the picture?
Yes. 3 people said that, so I'm assuming it's true if 3 people said it.
I think it's fake news, personally.
It could be. It could.
Yeah.
It's all of these are rumors, except for the Bianca thing, which was really funny. And Asia had said hers as well, and then someone came back and said that it was Eureka's staff, not Eureka herself. So who knows? But that's shady.
That's pretty shady.
If you really do that to your fans, that's shady. But you know, do what you want. It's DragCon. Speaking of DragCon, it's coming to New York City. Get your tickets now. They are on sale. I bought VIP, so I will be there all 3 days.
What do you get for with VIP?
VIP is expensive. It is $250.
Okay.
Um,
And
it's
what-
3
what are
days
your
now,
VIP
so
privileges?
it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, general ticket sale. People get to get in at it's from 4 to 8 on Friday. VIP gets in at 2, so you
Okay.
have 2 whole hours, which is a lot. Without everyone there, I don't know how many VIP they sell, but I heard in LA that it was like time to see plenty of queens if you wanted to.
Oh, that's cool.
On Saturday, you get in a half hour earlier, and so you can be at the ribbon cutting in front of everyone else, right in the front where Ru cuts the ribbon and welcomes everyone to DragCon. And then you get preferred seating at the panels, which is the only reason I did it, because I love, the panels are what I go for. I don't really care about meeting the queens, because I can see most of them at a bar, because I am of age where I can go to a bar.
And you live in New York City.
And I live in New York City,
Yeah.
so they all come here. Go to get a show and get the meet and greet. You can see all of them. So I go for the panels. I love the panels. Saturday, that's probably all I will do is go to panels. And the last time I did not do VIP, and I literally stood in line for like 2 hours for some of the panels just to get in. So I only saw 3 panels the whole day. This time I will have to I'll show up like a half an hour before, and I'll be seated in the front.
Nice.
And then Sunday, I'll just walk around. If there's panels that I do want to go to, I'll go. If not, I'll just walk around the market space and just have a good time. I'm going to make stickers that say Sashay with Barry.
Oh, nice.
So if you're there, I'll put a sticker on you. They're free. It costs you nothing. And you can be a part of my show. I may have my camera. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
I'll have
should
my phone
definitely
with
take
I'll have
some
my
video.
phone with me for sure. So I may take videos if you want to pop on the screen. We'll talk about DragCon. We'll talk about your favorite queens. Maybe I'll come up with like 3 questions to ask people. Who knows? But I'll be there September 28th, 29th, 30th. That's it, DragCon. I don't know what else to say. Next week we're going to have makeovers. Maybe I'll have a queen on to do a makeover on me.
That would be amazing. I would love to see that.
It may happen. It may
Would you
not.
shave your beard off?
I have shaved my beard for drag. It doesn't happen that often because I don't like to wear makeup, but if it can happen, it can happen. We'll do a video of the makeover, and then we'll do an actual video of the show. So we get
With you made
2
over.
parts. Yeah, I'll wear the makeup.
Nice.
And then I will take it off immediately. I also went to the Night of 1,000 Bowies this week, and I didn't talk about that.
What is that?
It was there's a giant exhibit, not a giant exhibit. It takes about 2 hours to go through at the Brooklyn Museum of David Bowie. It has been traveling around the world. I think this is the last stop of it. But they had a kind of a dance party performance art thing Friday night from 8 to 11. And I painted my face.
Like David Bowie rock star face?
I did the lightning bolt in
nice.
red and blue glitter. It was a lot of glitter and glue on my face. But it looked really good and I had a fun time. Yeah, so you can look on my Instagram for pictures. The Real Barry Brown. The Real Barry Brown. BarryBrown. There's pictures there. I don't think, there's none on my YouTube page about that. But it's there, so go look. Other than that, any last words? Wait, did you say who you predict the top 4 or do you agree?
Oh no, I agree. I think I will go in order: Aquaria, Asia, Eureka, Cameron.
Yeah. My theory is that it's going to come to Aquaria and Asia, I think, as the top queens, the top 2. And I look at it from a production standpoint.
Right. Because unfortunately, that's a big part of it.
It's a TV show. And they are going to have Aquaria win. And they're going to have Asia come back for All Stars. And probably win All Stars. Because she's better TV. Aquaria's not great TV.
I think Aquaria's
But she's a great.
though.
She's entertained me more than I thought she would.
Absolutely.
I mean, I went in thinking that she was going to be top 4 because I think she's a great drag queen. And having seen her perform live, I think even more of her. Her hosting, it still needs some work, but it's better than I thought it was going to be.
I know. She's 21.
And she's 21. She's 22 now, but she was 21 when it filmed. So I think she's going to win, and then they're going to bring Asia back because Asia is better television.
Okay.
I think. That's my opinion. Who else on season 10 do you think will come back for not necessarily All Stars 4,
Mayhem Miller.
but All Stars? Mayhem should definitely come back.
She deserves another chance. She was robbed, really. She did
She
not
was.
deserve to go home that episode.
No.
I don't know what happened there.
No, she did not.
No.
Yeah, it was a weird situation. I think she will come back for 1. Do you think she'll come back for 4, or she'll skip a season?
For All Stars, you mean?
For All Stars.
I want her to come back this season. Can they bring her back?
Like season
Are there
11?
enough- Yeah, no, 10. Are there enough episodes left for her to come back?
No one's coming back this season, sadly. I've been hoping for her to come back ever since she left.
Me too.
But no, I don't think I think it's too late for someone to come back, unfortunately.
No, I don't know whether she'll do All Stars 4 or 3. I don't know, but
No, 3 already happened.
Oh, sorry.
4 is
That's what I
next,
meant.
then 5.
Yeah.
I would take her on 4. She's one that I would take on 4.
Yeah.
I think Dusty could come back,
Yeah.
but not until 5. I think she needs
a little more
a
seasoning.
little more time. I think she's a great queen, but I think she would be better on 5.
I like Dusty. I was curious to see what she would do
I wanted-
each time,
yeah.
so I would see more.
I would see more of her too. Blair St. Clair.
I love Blair. I don't know. Do you think Blair has a lot more to offer than what
I don't
we
know
saw?
that she does either.
Yeah.
Apparently she and Cracker had the longest lines from any season 10 queen at DragCon,
Okay.
which is interesting.
Which does factor in, right? Like
Mhm.
popularity.
Yeah, popularity matters. It does. What I want is for Rue to fire Delta Work and hire Blair St. Clair to do her wigs. 'Cause she's a wig stylist and her wigs always look great. So
Interesting.
dump Delta and hire Blair.
But then Blair could not be.
Then
another
she could not
episode.
be on Drag Race again.
Yeah.
No, Blair, go out on the tour, do your year of tours, and then take the job. That's my opinion.
Barry just offered you a very.
I just
important
offered you
job.
Delta Works job. Congratulations to you.
Yes.
Who else? I mean, Monet and Cracker could all come back for an All-Stars. But again, I would want some space between them.
Yeah. And I don't know, Cracker just has been kind of flat. Like,
My hope for Cracker is that when she sees the episodes, she realizes what she did wrong.
when did they film the rest?
The last episode,
Yeah.
it's being filmed, I think, the second week of June. And then it'll air the following week.
Okay. And they'll bring everyone back. of course,
Everyone
for
will be
that.
back for that, yeah.
Right. Maybe we'll get to see
you'll
the
get to see
judges
them all
go
again.
go like this again.
Yeah. We don't need to see that.
No,
The judges usually get stuck in like this box, and they have terrible seats for the finale. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny. RuPaul like has a chair sitting on the stage.
Right. And the judges get the
And the
long
judges are
shots.
put way over there, yeah. Which is kind of funny. It would this season they changed it to where you could only get tickets to the finale if you went to Drag Con LA.
Oh, so you didn't get tickets?
No, because I was planning to go out for it.
Come on, white girl, Rose, send us some tickets.
No one wants me to go,
Finale.
apparently. But I was gonna fly out for it, but not gonna happen this season.
Did you check on StubHub?
I have not. No,
Yeah.
I've resigned myself that I'm not going. I was excited though because I think it's happening the same week of LA Pride. So it's like, oh, I'll go out, I'll see the taping, and then I'll enjoy Pride and meet Lisa Vanderpump, which is really my only goal for going there. Because someday she's gonna offer me a job. I'm putting it out there like Oprah. Put it out there.
Yeah,
It's gonna
put it
happen
out
at some
there.
point.
Yep. You don't ask.
She's gonna give me a job. She's gonna open one of her dog rescues here in New York, and I'm gonna be working it. I don't even care what I'll do.
You could be the chief shampooer.
Yes, I will gladly bathe them. No, I was like, I'm probably gonna end up picking up their poops, and I'm fine with that.
I think you have a lot more to offer.
I don't know. Whatever. That's all we have today. We're talking, and we're going on an hour 45
Yeah, we're just
minutes.
vamping now.
Now we're just
Sorry.
talking.
Sorry
Sorry, I
about
hope you
that.
enjoyed that. We will see you next week. So bye.
Bye.